Hey guys, it's Calm from The Compass and the Cape. I wanted to give you guys a disclaimer before we start our shows each week. The views and the opinions expressed on The Compass and the Cape are those of the host and guests and are intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. While we do discuss mental health, personal struggles, and healing journeys, we are not licensed therapists or medical professionals. The content shared on this podcast should not be considered professional advice, a diagnosis, or treatment. If you are struggling with your mental health, please reach out to a qualified professional or contact a mental health agency or resource in your area. Listener discretion is advised, especially when we talk about sensitive topics. Take what serves you and leave the rest. We appreciate you. Thank you for listening to The Compass and the Cape. Love, Calm.
Compass, she's got the cape. One holds the heart, one opens the gate. Stories of streamers, life behind the glow. Mental health hustle and learning as we go. Two paths meet in a world we create. One keeps you grounded, one celebrates. This is the compass and the cape, where real meets raw. We laugh, we lift, we learn from the fall. From stream talk to soul talk, we won't fake. Come get real with the compass and the cape. It's okay to pause, to heal, to relate. It's time to tune into the compass and the cape.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Welcome,
in.
friends, back to episode 6, part 2 of The Compass and the Cape. So, as you guys, if you remember, we had the community answer and give feedback on the topic that Com brought to us last episode, and we are going to do the same thing, but just share our take and our feedback on the topic. So, Com, what was the topic for the last episode?
The topic that I wanted us to discuss was pushing against the negative narratives and the stereotypes and stigma that are related with gaming and mental health, and also the negativity that a lot of society has towards gamers and streamers in general. Because
Right.
I know not all of us, because you can never say everyone, but I am sure a good portion of gamers and streamers have dealt with this stereotype and negativity for quite some time.
Mm-hmm. And so originally we intended on really just sharing feedback from the community. And then it wasn't until right before we started recording that episode that we realized it was actually probably a really good idea to share our story as well. Because as you guys will find out soon, our background is very different. And so,
Very, very night and day.
yeah. And so I thought it would be really interesting for us to share our side and give some feedback from our side too. So what we found was if we were to have added our feedback to the last episode, it would have made for an incredibly long episode. And so we decided, right. So we decided to just cut it in half and do the community feedback first. And then we give you guys our feedback and what our stories are. And so here we are. That's how part 2 came to be.
Ta-da.
Yeah.
Canon.
So I think what we'll do is still head on up to the tree and we'll continue on with the rest of episode part 2 and we'll share our stories. Sound good, Com?
Sounds good to me. Let's go.
Let's do it. Okay, so now we're here in the tree, and I think, let's start with your story. I feel like it's the most interesting.
The most interesting? I don't know about that.
So, um, let's see.
She just likes to torture me, that's all.
Well, so I feel like as a community, it's important for you guys to hear Calm's story because I feel like it's really transformational, right? I mean, I think so. I believe it is.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Um,
let's talk about it. Let's talk about, I guess, gaming in general, like what it was and what it meant to you initially before the streaming journey.
oh, wow. Yeah, so you know those negative people that we were just talking about and those, uh, misconceptions and negative narratives? I was one of those people. I was someone who had thought negative narratives and, thought very poorly of gaming, gaming and mental health, people who gamed, streamers, all of that for a very long time. So yeah, I guess you could say, I'm a hypocrite, or I was a hypocrite.
But why
Yeah.
was that though?
Um, yeah. Well, I'm in my past, growing up, uh, I never had video games at home. We were too poor to have games, and, it was something that just wasn't a thing for me. I never even had my own I never had my own computer or anything like that. The only time I had access to a computer was at school, and that was, growing up in a very small country community. That was very not very common either. Um, and then I ended up getting married, and I married someone who was into tech and into computers and gaming. And, um, I got my first, I don't know, experience really with someone who was really into gaming and liked gaming and was very technical. They had a tech job. That's what they did for a living. Uh, so but for me, it was a very negative experience. Um, it was not a very good marriage. So, there was many reasons and many things that were issues in my, former marriage, and gaming just happened to be one of them, because I was with someone who took up gaming and had been a gamer and but took it to a very unhealthy level, uh, who would game for extended periods of time, uh, would not spend time with me or the kids, um, sometimes would ignore work and responsibilities and things like that, and so that was my issues with gaming. Uh, I got very jealous because they were spending a lot of time with a lot of people that I didn't know. I was very distrustful. Uh, it was a really negative experience.
Mm-hmm.
And but eventually I got into gaming the first time around because I wanted to it was my attempt to try to reach out to my partner at the time and to try to make some kind of connection, uh, somewhere with them. It's like, "Okay, well, I will spend time with them this way, and maybe it will, maybe it will help."
Mm-hmm.
And then I ended up getting sucked into gaming. And I became obsessed with gaming because I was depressed and I was lonely and um, I had a lot of, of my own mental health issues that I was dealing with, or that I hadn't really dealt with from, childhood and teenager and stuff like that. And I become obsessed with it. So then we had 2 adults in the home with the kids who were both obsessed with gaming, and it just it did not help anything at all. Things got worse, and we were both avoiding our problems, but it wasn't at the time, I wanted to blame gaming, and I wanted to blame the game and everything because that's how I looked at it. Because of my maturity level at the time and because of my level of what do you wanna call it? Like, my emotional IQ level,
Emotional
my
intelligence?
self-awareness. Yeah. My emotional intelligence, my, level of self-awareness at the time,
Mhm.
uh, because this was really my very early 20s.
Yeah.
Um, it just wasn't there. And so I blamed gaming. But what I did was I used gaming as a way to escape and escapism, which we all do with all kinds of different things. Um, but you have to do it in a healthy way. I didn't know how to do that.
Mhm.
I had no idea how to do that. And I didn't realize at the time that that's what I was doing. So it was just gaming in general. So my marriage with that person ended
Mhm.
after quite a few years. It ended. And then um, I ended up meeting my current spouse, who we've been together for a very long time now. We've been married a long time. I ended up meeting him by video gaming.
Yeah. Right. So then it wasn't
we
so bad.
we live yeah, well, we live I thought it wasn't so bad, but it still I hadn't dealt with my feelings about video gaming yet.
Okay.
We lived several states away, and,
From
we
each
met
other?
through video gaming. Yes,
Okay.
yes, from each other.
Mhm.
Uh, he lived in one place, and I lived 2 states aw between there was 2 states between us. So, but we started out as friends. He was an asshole. The first thing he ever said to me, the first thing was, "You know you're gonna die, right?" And I was like, "You jerk. You're such a jerk. I don't know who you are. Why are you even what bit?" But that's how it started.
Mhm. And then you did die.
Yeah, and then I did die. I did die. Our our whole our whole party died. We got completely wiped out
What was the
by a
game?
huge
What was the game you were
monster.
playing?
No, girl, I ain't telling that because I am not aging myself. You ain't outing me on here. Mm-mm. Oh, no.
Well, I genuinely can't remember,
Everybody
so you're safe.
uh, everybody knows I'm older, but everybody don't need to know just how much older I is. They already call me Auntie Calm. Uh,
So then at that point, you met War, and then you guys got married, and then you were
mhm.
good.
And then no, I said, "No more video games."
Wow. But why? If that's how you guys met?
Because I still blamed video games, and I was so afraid, and I was like my first time around being married is like I held on for a very long time. We were married for several years. I mean, it
Mhm.
wasn't like we were married for a year or 2 and they were like, "Oh, well, this isn't gonna work." So, I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't want to be divorced. I didn't want to be like my parents or whatever. And of course, the way I was brought up, you gotta stay together. You gotta stay together no matter what,
Yeah,
you
right.
know? And, so I really hung in there, and I guess he did too because, we were still together, but because I was determined. I'd done been divorced once. Come hell or high water, I don't care what happened. I ain't getting divorced again. We ain't doing this shit again.
Uh-huh.
So
And you blame video
I was like,
games for your
mm-hmm.
last marriage.
So
I see.
that was, yeah. So right off the bat, it was no, we're not. We cannot. So we video gamed for just a little bit after we got officially together. Like, we still gamed while we were apart and lived apart, but after we finally decided that we wanted to be together, and get married and everything, and then we moved in together, then it was, "Alright, this enough video games, we got shit we gotta do, we can't be playing these video games all the time and stuff like we were, we got it's time to adult," or whatever. It's
Oh,
pretty much how I
okay.
and I was, afraid of what video games would do to our marriage.
Okay.
So we
So,
didn't game for years.
okay. So fast forward to
Mhm,
current day. You're a streamer
mhm.
now. You've got video games
Surprise!
back into your household. So what was
God,
the catalyst? Like, what was the turning point?
you mean what was the catalyst or who was the catalyst?
Either?
'Cause, there's somebody sitting a little over to the left of me who I would say would be the catalyst, not what the catalyst.
But so maybe who, right? So even if initially I was the catalyst, it that conversation went like this, guys. I moved back in with Calm and War and their family, and then I initially said, "Hey, I'm gonna stream, just so you know." And I already knew the temperature in the room when it came to gaming, so I knew this was a taboo conversation even to bring up. But I
Yeah,
was still
you did,
going
and you
to.
did it anyway.
Yeah, I did it anyway because it wasn't you gaming; it was me gaming, and I
Yeah, and
wasn't
y'all don't
gonna.
understand.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I was holding
When
you, making you game or anything. I was like, yeah, well, it's gonna be
when
me.
Hero
So
gets her mind on something, she just
yeah,
she's
I
like
mean,
a little bit she's a bulldog, she will not let go.
yeah, I'm just gonna do
"I
it. And so it
I'm
was
doing this
more of
shit. You can either come with me or get out the damn way."
pretty much. And so that's how I brought it to the table. I was like, hey, I'm gonna stream, and just giving you a heads up. I'm not like asking for permission. I'm just like letting you know that this is gonna happen. So if you're not gonna be okay with it, I need to know so I can make adjustments accordingly. But I'm still
What
gonna
she
do
means
it.
is so I can go live somewhere else.
I don't know. Well, who knows? But so, and then you were like, yeah, hey, cool. I support you at 1,000%.
Yeah.
But at what point? Cause that was hey, I support you in your journey. It wasn't hey, I want to be a streamer too. So at what point, like, how did that happen? Cause that was a
Bro,
surprise even
sometimes
to me.
I don't even know anymore. Like, I'm one of those people that when I support somebody or when somebody comes to me and says, "Hey, I need your support," it's not like a, "Yeah, okay, sure, I support you. Cool, good job, way to go," and then that's it.
Yeah.
Um, I had people do that to me in the past. Uh, Family do that, friends do that. Be like, "Oh, yeah, I support you." "Sure, I support you, yeah, go ahead." And then when it really came down to actually needing support is not just a word, it's a verb, okay? Support is a verb.
Well, yeah, but
It's
like,
something
I didn't expect
it's
you
some
to be a streamer too. Like, that's
no,
different. That's a what the heck?
I'm gonna support you by doing this too.
Like,
No, no, I mean, okay, look at it like this, okay? So if you said, "Calm, I really need support in losing weight or working out or whatever. Um, I would be like, "Okay," and you already know this because 'cause we've been
We've
through
been through
this.
this several times. Yeah. This particular
Um,
situation. Yes.
and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, let's go. I'll go to the gym with you. I'll drink that nasty ass
Apple
apple
cider
cider vinegar
vinegar.
every morning straight with you. I will let you torture me any and every way possible because I am your friend and I love you and I have to prove it to you by torturing myself." I mean, okay, so, I mean, it's funny now.
It is
It
funny.
wasn't at the time when I thought,
It was at the time.
the first 3 layers of my esophagus were burning
It
off.
was funny then too. You had
And
to be there,
the
guys.
egg
You just
white
had to be there.
and the egg whites mixed with Nesquik.
Yeah,
Ugh,
it was
yeah.
amazing.
So,
It's still a
yeah,
go-to.
nope, 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 nope. But that's the type of person that I am because I never had that support.
Mhm.
I mean, I never had somebody back then, like, when I say I need support, be willing to support me like that or get in the trenches or whatever with me like that.
Uh-huh.
So when I say that I'm going to support somebody, that I care about and that I love, then that's what I do. So that's what I started doing with you.
Uh-huh.
And then uh, we had several conversations, me, you, and War.
Mhm.
And then you started questioning me like, "Okay, why do you feel this way? Why do you look at gaming this way? Why do you look at streaming this way? Um, what happened?" So you challenged how I felt and you challenged my beliefs that I had told myself for a long time. So it really opened my mind to gaming and what is it a bad thing? Is it a good thing? Is it just something that's neutral and it's whatever you make it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean, that's
is
yeah, the thought process of me initially bringing gaming up and streaming up was I was also trying to be considerate of you and War because War tried to do the whole streaming thing back when it was first a
yeah.
thing and you shot it
Yeah,
down.
he wanted to stream. We had several conversations about it. Like he really wanted to do it. And this was years ago when it just I mean, Twitch wasn't even a thing yet. Twitch
Yeah,
didn't
it was
even
YouTube when
exist.
everybody was really had
Yeah,
started.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just like, absolutely not. I mean, I shut it. I did not support him. I did not I did not believe in him. I didn't think that it was anything good could come out of it. I thought it was a waste of time. I thought it was a waste of money. Uh, I was not very kind to War at all.
Yeah.
And his feelings for gaming and why he gamed and what he wanted to do and things, at all. And so that was a very big thing when you brought up streaming that and me supporting you that the 3 of us had to talk about, and then even me and Ward, just the 2 of us had to talk about because I I mean, we all said it, like, there could be or even should be a lot of bitterness there
Yeah.
towards
Yeah, I was
towards
concerned.
me, and
Yeah, but even
yeah,
towards me,
yeah.
which is why I was initially bringing it up, because War's like a brother.
Mm,
And so when I was like,
yeah.
hey, I want to do this. And then you're like, yeah, I support you. One, you support me. Two, you also became a streamer. And I was just like waiting for War to just like break out the knives, bro.
Blow the hell up.
Because I was like, holy crap. Like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. So, it's a very My story with gaming and streaming and war story is very, it's very crazy, and
Yeah.
it's very, but it just goes to show, though, that just because somebody is so close-minded or about something doesn't mean they can't change, and doesn't mean they can't become open-minded about something. It also says a lot to being able to have that conversation with someone,
Mhm.
like the way me and you were able to have that conversation, like, you were able to challenge the way I felt and my beliefs, and we were able to have that conversation without it becoming ugly or immature or
Yeah.
whatever, which is one of the things I love about us in the first place, and I love about our friendship is that we can have those really hard conversations like that. They may not feel good and we might be perturbed for a little while, but we can still have them.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that's another reason why I brought it to you is because gaming for me is something not was is something extremely
Yeah.
positive. And so when you were
Yeah,
constantly shutting
and
it down, I brought it to you and like shared it
mhm.
was like me trying to share something really great with you and you not wanting it. And I'm like, "What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
This is something amazing. Like you should want to do this." Like, that's like me trying to
What's wrong
bring
with you? Why don't you wanna do this?
it's like me trying to bring to you like I don't know, like the best ice cream flavor ever, and you're like, "Ugh, I hate it." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? This is amazing."
Yeah, and that's something that helped when we talked about it, when we took that while to talk about it was because your story and your experience with gaming is also a very heartfelt or deals with the heart and emotions and experiences in your life
Yeah.
and in your past, but
Hmm.
it's completely different than mine, and
Yeah.
it got
Very.
me to really see that it can actually be a good thing, a positive thing, it can help
Hmm.
things. So, seeing my story and your story and then analyzing that and talking about it, and then all the things that have happened from me starting streaming and playing games,
Yeah.
uh, really got me thinking about the types of negativity and the stereotypes that gamers and streamers have to go through and deal with on a
Hmm.
regular basis.
Yep. I just thought for those of you listening, I really encourage Calm to share this story because I already knew this story, but I thought
Mhm.
it was interesting to see how far she has come because we talk about a person who not was just disinterested, but absolutely hated the idea. I mean, the
Mhm.
topic was taboo to be brought up, and
Yeah.
it was met with just immediately shut down, immediate aggravation, and so to know that
Nope.
person and to hear that story, and
Nope.
then 6 months later, not only are you streaming, but I would say that you're a pretty important part of this community. Like you are a stable part in this community, and you're helping
Oh,
others
yeah.
also with mental health and bringing that to the table. And there's a huge gap there. So you're filling that gap and helping a lot of other streamers too. So if, like the community is fortunate to have you. And so it's interesting to see that transformation and to share it. I thought it was very important.
And if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing it. So,
So we're all welcome. Just kidding.
what can I say but you're welcome. You're welcome.
But
Let's hear your story.
yeah, okay.
Let's
So
hear
mine,
your heartwarming story instead of the Grinch story. I'm
but
Grinch.
that's a
Cindy
good
Lou
Grinch
Who over here.
story. Even the Grinch's story was great. Your heart grew 3 times its
Yeah.
size.
Say my heart Grinch. Say the same thing.
So my story, I don't feel like is quite as interesting. I mean, when I grew up,
To me, it is.
I grew up with gaming being a pretty stable thing, you know? I mean, my parent, not my, I was going to say my parents, but it was my dad mostly. My dad played games. We watched him play games on PC. We had a Sega Genesis. We had a PlayStation 1. My dad got an Xbox. I mean, we just always
I
had some
just
kind
can't
of,
see your dad playing a PC game, though. I can see the Xbox, and I can see the PlayStation, but I just can't see your dad sitting and playing a computer game.
yeah. I can't remember what game he was playing. I can remember like the Xbox and the PlayStation games, but the only thing I could remember about that PC was the dumb screensaver he had. It was like the Budweiser frogs, and they were sitting on the log, and there were three of them, and then the frogs would go Bud, Y,
Bud,
Zer.
why,
Yeah.
sir,
and that's all I can
why,
remember. And
Bud, why, er.
yep. That's all that would play like all the time. That's all I can remember about the PC. But I do remember him playing games on it.
Yep.
But so, I mean, when we were growing up, we lived in a really small town in Virginia called Pocahontas, Virginia. My dad was a cop out there, and the town was so small, so small. I mean, maybe like population 300 people. And so everybody knew everybody. And, but we were different growing up, you know, it was just me and Lee. Sarah wasn't born until much later, but, we were the only half Filipino kids that lived in the area. And so because we were different, we would get picked on all the time. And so, I mean, I don't remember us having a lot of friends, right? I can remember like a couple of friends. But really, for the most part, it was just us. Like, we were each other's friends. And so we were constantly playing games together. And so for me, gaming was always something, it was always related to a positive experience. It was always related to bringing people together, or like something to bond over. Not even just video games, but just gaming in general. So even
Gaming, you guys are just,
I just
they
love a
are
good game.
gameaholics.
Yeah.
Card games, board games,
Yeah.
Jackbox games.
Any kind of game. Yard games, camp games. I'm all about a game.
Yep.
And so, but that's funny because I was just about to say, even growing up, as I had jobs and stuff, one of my most favorite jobs I ever had was a summer camp counselor for the YMCA, because I got to be the activities coordinator. And so I got to plan like all the games we got to play and stuff. And it was the best. It was the best.
Just had the craziest like vision of you being a activities coordinator for a nursing home.
Oh gosh. Hey, you know what?
Them old people playing games and stuff.
We'd have a good time. We'd have a good time.
Oh, mama and papa, they be breaking some hips because they be playing some
They'd be
crazy
competitive as hell.
play hide and seek with the false teeth.
But yeah, I mean, even when times, like there were certain times in my life where there was a lot of distance between me and like certain family members and stuff. And gaming always brought us together. Always brought us together. And even still current day, Calm will tell you.
Yeah, you still do that now. Yeah.
Yeah. Come the holidays, guys, like Thanksgiving, Christmas, any family gathering holiday, stresses me all the way out. All the way out. It should be this like magical time of year. It isn't. Not for me.
It is.
My magical time of year is after the holidays.
It's when it's all over.
It's when it's all done. Then it's magical.
Yeah, see, I am the Christmas is my favorite time of year. I am a Christmas freak.
Yeah.
And then Hero is the exact opposite.
It's
And
not that I
so
don't
it's
like
really
Christmas. It's
It's the stress.
Yeah, it's just the stress of the holidays.
Yeah.
But long story, that's a story for a different time. But it's just the family dynamics can get very stressful. So much so that I would rather pass on the event as a whole. But the only reason I go is because I know everybody else is having a crap time. And the only way to save it is to bring games. And so I will literally bring different board games or card games for us to try, and it'll literally save the day. And that's not an exaggeration by any means. It's 1,000% true. Every day, every holiday. What's that?
Except for stir the pot.
Oh God. Okay, guys, if you guys want to play a card game or board game that will literally stir the pot, it's called Stir the Pot. The game is called Stir the Pot. We introduced it to the holiday
put us through that crap
last year. And for those of you who want to cause a scene on the holidays, take that game.
Some things get hurt up in here today.
Seriously, if you cannot just be, you have to have like a solid relationship with whoever you're playing with for that game, to where you could be brutally honest and it's not going to matter. Everybody's good after. Because if there's even a crack in that foundation of a relationship,
it's going to break that wide.
It'll break
open,
it all
baby.
the way down. Anyway, I thought it was a great game.
It was great, all right. It was great.
But yeah, so I mean that's my story. And that's why I said what I did when Com had such a problem with gaming. I just couldn't understand. I think, that was one of the biggest reasons I brought it to you, is because I care and love about you guys. And I wanted you guys to experience it, like, in a good way, like, in the positive way. The way that I always grew up experiencing it. I just thought it was such a shame that something so great was looked at so awful.
Yeah. I agree. There are a lot of, as we've seen from the first part of the episode, there are a lot of benefits to gaming, and gaming has saved a lot of people
Yeah.
and helped a lot of people with their emotions and with dealing with loneliness and having a sense of community and having friends, and or sometimes friends that feel like family. So
And then also offering the opportunity for just some peace if you wanted to just like get away and just like be. So for me, also like playing with people and creating a bond, but also a space where you can just kind of like be the single adventurer in a new world kind of thing.
yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, that's our stories. And as you can see, that would have been quite a long episode had we combined the two topics. So with that being said, we're going to leave you with that. We hope that you guys enjoyed those stories and it gave you guys a little bit more insight on who we are as creators and, just in general as human beings. Human beings. And so now let's talk about some exciting guests for the next few episodes to come. So the next episode, episode 7, will be a hero spotlight. So that'll be a hero segment. And we will have Unicorn Electric and Halen's. So it'll be Halen's debut into the community. And we're going to do something really cool. So we haven't done anything like this yet. We're going to bring just like a new spin to the way that we're doing this episode. But I think you guys are going to enjoy this so much.
It's going to be fun. And
there's a little bit
interesting.
There's a little bit of torture involved, which is also why I feel like you're going to love it. And then who's
I'm
next?
pretty sure they will. And then after that, will be a calm segment for July the 13th. And we will be having Vi from Vi or Die TV, which I am extremely excited about because Vi is coolish, just cool as shit. Uh, yeah, I mean, he's cool. He is one cool guy and funny as crap and also at times a little unhinged and a huge, huge, huge mental health advocate. Huge mental health advocate. So one of the reasons that I enjoy hanging out with him so much and hanging out in his stream. So that's going to be July the 13th.
Awesome. So we've got quite the lineup for creators. We've got some really great creators coming, and we're excited to share them with you all. And for anyone else who may be interested in either participating or maybe suggesting a streamer for the podcast, please feel free to join our Compass and the Cape Discord and let us know in there. We're always looking for some really great creators to hang out with and to introduce to you guys.
Mm-hmm. And don't forget, if you guys have any questions or anything that you guys would like to send anonymously, you can always send me an anonymous DM requiring or about anything mental health. And we also have our new PO box if you want to
Yeah.
send a letter or something.
Yeah. Like, or a mystery box. That would be cool.
Mystery box. That would be cool.
Yeah. If anybody wants to send us a mystery box to unbox on stream.
You.
What's that?
Send it full of bean boozles for you.
Oh, gosh.
Delivering onions.
Never mind. I'm resending that.
Or the spider cabooses.
God, no. All right, cool. So, where else can they find us?
You can find us on Discord. You can find us on Twitch. You can find us on TikTok. And you can find us on YouTube. I think that covers it.
Yeah, that's everything.
Spotify.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Cool. All right, guys. Well, that's it for us. If you had a good time, let us know. Leave comments. Be sure to follow, subscribe, share with your pals, all that good stuff. And we will see you in the next one. Bye.